The HiPipo Chronicles, if you haven't heard of this podcast, this is looking at the history of HiPipo. We are going all the way back in 2005. I wonder how many of you knew about HiPipo back then, but if you did, reach out. We want to listen. We want to hear from you, more, especially if you were around that time and you heard about HiPipo 2005, 2006. Now we are in the year 2007, and in the previous episode, we talked about how things went online after that. What was in the local area network was finally online, email to SMS. For those of you that use that feature, we'd like to hear from you too. And those that were looking for love on the platform too, we want to hear from you too. And we want to hear your experience. How was it? Did you manage to enjoy that time? Because people might have gotten married at that point through finding love on HiPipo. All right, and also something else that HiPipo was doing at the time, it was trying to bring people together and have conversations. So create like a social media platform for people, us in Africa, to connect with each other, rather than at the time writing letters and waiting for 4 days, close to a month sometimes, for you to ever get a response. So we are doing that with the CEO of HiPipo, Innocent Kawooya. How are you feeling right now? We are a few years in now. We're in 2007. We started 2005. We're into 2007. How are you feeling about sharing the experiences that like reliving the years back then?
Well, I'm sure thank you, Mark. I'm sure there are so many sayings about good things.
Yeah.
Someone talks about wine.
Yeah.
That wine gets better
as it ages.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those stories are getting better every single day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
They're becoming the things that make us.
Yeah.
Myself, I don't feel like I should ever want to leave HiPipo for any reason.
Yeah.
After all this time, making 19 years this year. But most importantly, I see the things we envisioned a long time. I see what we created that seemed like a digital government becoming a thing that has become a blueprint for everyone to create solutions. I mean, there's not one thing I've seen being created that we didn't think about.
Yeah, absolutely. Because when you look at the platform, e-commerce is a thing right now. People are talking about that. Now we're looking at payments, how they are done on there, and how they are improving in Uganda. Then you talk about music, still the same thing. People are using now platforms like TikTok to promote music and all these social media platforms that have come up. You look at streaming. What we shall get into that later on, by the way, in the next episodes for music and streaming and all that. But talk to me about when you roll out all these products, right? All these things that are foreign to people. People don't know about some of these things. Finding love online, doing especially the Valentine's campaign that you did. So how do you go to market? How do you even start selling this to people that usually are a bit conservative about giving out information online?
Oh, thank you, Mark. Let me start with something. It just came to my mind, and I remember us doing the ride-hailing kind of service.
Yeah.
What we call the Ubers of the world today, what we call the safe borders of the world today. I remember us having car rentals online. 2007, when I checked back on Wayback Machine, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, we had done this, meanwhile.
Yeah.
And when I look at it, I remembered exactly what happened when we were going to the market. One, we didn't have resources to print high quality posters. All we had to do is use bond material paper, A4 print paper, and then compete with the people who are doing dissertations for students in universities. You know that business.
Yes.
Yeah, you want your dissertation, call this number. You want your coursework, so we're competing with spaces. Yeah. So for anyone who has been a part of a campaign in a university, I don't know whether Mark Zuckerberg advertised Facebook that way. I don't know. Because they were in Harvard, we were in Makerere, where everyone was in the best of what they call the best in their space, the best of Africa, the best of the other world.
The rest of the world.
And we had to move with posters. Myself, I took so many posters to high school. At one point in my prefectorial service, I had good leverage of networks around Wakiso district, being a part of the students' leadership network.
Yeah.
So we're sharing posters with everyone, telling them about HiPipo, a friend's rendezvous. and then you tell people hi people, and they write it, some write hi people, and then you find someone, a very learned individual with PhDs, because we were so much around people who had PhDs. And then they are like, hip hop. Are you like, no, wait a minute. We have a problem, people, as Africans. We need to concentrate and read. But it was very exciting getting to see what people were thinking about the brand. I mean, ourselves, we had to create 2 versions of the logo by that time. Create a real HiPipo, the HiPipo, which is capital H, small I, P-I, I mean capital P, and the others are small. And then the HiPipo, the real people. Why? Because we wanted people to appreciate that we had come up with a version that related with them the best way. And well, the posters were the first thing.
Yes.
And these were disseminated to corporates, to schools, to the universities, especially Makerere, Chambogo, MOOBs, and all the others. But little did we know that the word was going around so fast. So we embarked on using the SMSs. We had tested with literally everyone, and we had gotten response. See, you have to write to someone who you've known for some time, and I tell them that when you see a message like this on your on your phone, please send me back a message to confirm you received it.
Yeah, confirm you received it.
So we were sending to all the 89 destinations. Well, myself and the other founders didn't know people from 89 countries. So you had to ask someone, do you know someone in this country so we can test? I remember the day when we sent a message to Romania. I don't know how many people are watching here in Romania, and how many people have been to Romania, for example. I don't know, Mark, how many friends you have that talk about being to Romania. Have you been there yourself?
I haven't been to Romania, but we have people that have supported us to Romania. Remember, during the awards, one of the ladies did drop about the music awards. Leo.
Leo. What's her name?
Her name is Runa.
Runa, wherever you are and watching this
from Time Bell.
I like Runa, and I'm your fan. So I remember from Time Bell. So all the way. But you see how digitization connects the world.
It does.
We are in Kampala. We are seated at our small office. And we are creating connectivity. We are creating a campaign that is global. You have Runa from Romania recording a very nice video that we should reuse all the time. You have someone, where is Kevin Little?
Kevin Little, yes, is from the islands of St. Vincent.
St. Vincent, exactly. So that's what we are doing. Getting SMSs, email specifically to SMS, being delivered from a very simplified platform. We had about only 3 forms. And this table we were using, and the form back end is a table, and the form was having about 3 or 4 fields. The number you're sending to, the message, and then the button to send. So you didn't need to have so much education. Anyone who could access internet and type in hipipo.com could be able to use it. And we're sending to people to these destinations and getting responses. Wow. Sometimes you could wait, like we wait when you send out a proposal, a concept note to someone, and wait for 9 months to get a response.
Sometimes you're like, maybe it didn't appear or anything like that.
It did appear, I remember, later we shall connect to this. I'll tell you about a story about how many times I personally wrote to Bill Gates, like every time sending through DHL and not getting response. I'm saying, I'm going to send.
But you're like, you will be persistent until it happens.
So we did that a lot. We're also doing a lot of moving, walking and talking to people. So some people that were staying in the public hostels became friends, and they could tell the story of HiPipo to friends. Some that were classmates and all that were telling the story. For myself, I love telling people about the thing I knew was going to become the most amazing thing that we'll ever see on internet in Uganda and the rest of Africa. So I wanted to tell everyone I know. I didn't have a HiPipo email by then, so I remember asking the CTO then, like, I need to create for me an innocent at HiPipo email. That's all I need as a tool to go and market. I want to be able to send.
So if you're giving out someone, you're like, hey, email me at
innocent at HiPipo.
I
don't know how many people have given my email, but probably more than 500,000 people over the last 19 years.
Yes. And by the way, when people hear some of these stories, what they don't get, especially now, because I've seen that there's a big gap between people that are like 20 18, 19. They don't know that at that time, the reason why people are doing posters, running around, doing word of mouth, going into places to market something that is online is because social media wasn't what it is now.
No,
it wasn't a place where you easily connect with people.
No.
And besides, the smartphone penetration at the time was also very low. Internet was very expensive, and it was only in few people had the privilege of having internet. At the office, that's when you enjoy those privileges, or go to an internet cafe and then that's when you would enjoy that. So when they hear that people are moving around doing word of mouth, I just need to market this product, they don't understand how hard it was then, that you needed to literally walk into offices, tell people about a product that they have no idea about. They have no point of reference. You can't say it's like this.
Yes.
Because they are seeing something new and people are usually not quick to adapt to things that are new. But when you go into what are some of the things that you got as feedback? Because, you talk to people about this new phenomenon that you're creating, about that is a platform where people will connect. That is a platform where you'll sell stuff from. You'll find love at.
Yeah.
So when you meet people, what are some of the things they're telling you about what you're telling them?
Well, there are so many things that happened around that time. I remember myself, whenever I had 10,000 Ugandan shillings on me, I could walk to cafes and pay for 10 people internet just to use HiPipo. I tell them, hey, I have this. I want you to check out this platform. There's this functionality and all that. Actually, when you ask me about feedback, I tell you one of the things that ever happened for me as feedback is I found someone who really liked me a lot. I found
you're in the process of you marketing.
You
ended up marketing yourself.
Marketing myself. So I mean, that is bad. She's still a very good friend of mine. She's called Rose. And all the time I'm like, oh, wait a minute. She became someone I could consult. She was a senior to me in terms of knowledge and education. She knew a lot of things, especially about writing, literature. But I mean, for me, that was feedback. Someone said, oh, you're the guys. I'm like, no, I'm a marketing executive.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, okay. So who are the people that are doing this? I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm part of the team. We're doing this kind of stuff. Oh, I'm going to use this. I'm going to tell everyone about the service that you've created. So before you know, everyone at the School of Education in Makerere is using the service. And one time on Nasser Road, I went to print some proposals. And then I entered into a cafe. I think there were just 2 or 3 on Nasser Road. And I find this person. I don't know them. I don't think they have been to Makerere for the last many years. But they are using HiPipo. I think I had 15,000 shillings. I gave it to them. I gave it to this gentleman.
You're like,
I was so excited. I watched this gentleman using the platform to do so many things, more than I thought they were using.
Yeah.
He's checking out the Love platform. He's checking out the SMS and using it. I mean, I was watching. So the person that was running the cafe asked me, what is that? I'm like, I'm enjoying what he's doing. And I asked him, is it okay for me to be like, yeah, it's fine. I like what I'm doing. So before he knew, I left him with a man. I don't even remember him. I didn't ask for his name. But the little I remember is that I was so excited to find this person doing this. But little did we even ever realize, because we had statistics of thousands of people using the platform.
Yeah, who visit the website and stuff.
So it was not him alone. The wave had grown to places. Of course, we had challenges with our servers, especially our content delivery networks locally. Sometimes the site could be heavy. I mean, when we come to other bits of this conversation, I'll tell you about those points. But the feedback was people liked what they found at HiPipo. Like you see today, the services and the solutions and products that HiPipo is offering, the same way they are loved by millions of people is the same way those that could access internet love them.
But there's one thing though, because at that time when you're doing all this, you are spending so much money in just hosting the website and even having the capacity to generate all that content. It's taking a lot of money, but what keeps the team going, and what are some of the key things in that, specifically we're talking about 2007 now, what are some of the things that would keep the team going, and even you specifically, since we are talking to you right now?
Well, thank you, Mark. For me, and I'll tell you, this is still the same drive. For me, the promise of digitization has always been something that I believe in. And for the founders and for John Mark, who was dedicating most of his time being CTO and making sure he designs these tools, he leads in the design of the tools. He believed in the transformative capacity of digitization and internet-connected systems and solutions. I mean, jobs were being created, connections were being made, products were being sold, people were getting rentals online. I'm sure you've seen the growing wave of rentals online.
There are many platforms now.
Very many platforms. I mean, the capacity, the transformative capacity of internet and digitization is endless. But someone had to believe in it. And for us, we should go and do this. For myself, I have always been a builder since my childhood. I've seen potatoes grow, matoke grow. I've seen channels through how things grow from one point to becoming very useful. And I thought we could do this and make this a very amazing ecosystem. And that was a drive. The money we were spending, sometimes we could cry about having money to have payments for our servers in time. Later in the episodes, I'll tell you about the 7 days when we were offline, and they were my worst days of being at HiPipo. And I mean, all this happened in real time. You're running a month, it's 30 days, and you need to get money to pay hundreds of dollars to have the server running. You have to create content. You have to be learning yourself and be in class. You have to look for food and find where to sleep yourself. I mean, it was a beautiful calling. I mean, today when you see the opportunities that have been created, talk about eJazz Radio, for example. When you see such opportunities,
a lot of people don't. And bringing that even up gave me something that I wanted us to have a conclusion with the podcast with. Is for people that start things, that usually have to take time to grow. What do you do when, because I've encountered a lot of people that would start things, they really like starting a project, but because of how hard the journey is at the start, how you have to keep spending money, sometimes they're not willing to see the project through. They get to a point where they give up because probably of what is around them, the people, what people are saying. Even you, I'm sure that you had people around you that you went to school with that were telling you, why don't you just give this up and just do a job? This is taking a lot of money. I don't know if it will even bring money back. Where you are having, I'm sure probably you're having these conversations.
Many of them.
And even just like the same I've had with eJazz Radio, even just believing in online, having stuff online and creating a platform that can connect people. People would not believe in that because they don't have something to compare to in order to believe in what it can be tomorrow if it works out. So what would you tell someone that is listening to this and they're starting something, but they are still full of doubt in how they can be able to manage and drive through and get it to where they want the project to be?
Well, there is a lot of power in consistency. If I should say, there's a lot of gains that come as a result of us doing the things that people call stupid.
Wasting time.
I am so sure that the things we do, many of them most times look very stupid to so many people, until when we consistently do them. I'll maybe, like you said, we're ending this episode, I'll refer some people to stories like the waste management company. Brothers who decided to open a company that collects garbage. And today, the company is worth billions of dollars. But they consistently collected garbage every single day because we call it rubbish. No one ever saw the face of recycling. Nobody ever saw the face of solving a problem that everyone has. Whoever eats, whoever drinks, has rubbish that they're disposing. No one ever thought that this could be a place where someone can create a job. In the same way, internet was not believable for so many of us. What is amazing today is the one thing that has happened all the time is there's been what they call consistency. From my point of view, I'll tell everyone you must believe in something. One of the things I personally believe in is God all the time, and I believe that when I have faith that things will work out and you consistently work on them, they'll come through sometime. It might take you 20 years. It might take you a whole...
Might take a while.
It might take a while. I mean, whatever would ever happen in the world, if we have to build a bridge that people will use for hundreds of years, someone should read about the men who built America and read about Andrew Carnegie and see how long it took him to build the bridge that connects the United States of America and Canada.
So in short, it takes a while. Consistency. Keep doing what you're doing, all right? And you'll get there. The HiPipo Chronicles, and this is a podcast where we're looking at the story of HiPipo with the CEO of HiPipo, Innocent Kawooya. My name is Mark Xtreme. Get to us on social media. That is at HiPipo on all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, all that. Whatever you use, HiPipo is there, all right? And for those of you that are listening to the podcast, rate, subscribe. Let us know what probably got your attention more, or what you if you were, by the way, at the time then using the platform. We still want to hear from you. If you are in that section looking for love, we still want to hear from you too. If you are in there and you are one of the people that were trying to use the shop and buy some things, we also want to listen from you too. The musicians that have been on there, we will get to that point. They are countless. You won't believe how many have been to the platform and how much it has helped them. What can we do except give you the next one? So that's why you need to check it out when it comes out.